What's going on, rock stars? Pirate salute. Yeah. Well, yes, I know. Cheesy video camera. This past week has not been that productive, unfortunately. Lots of, let's just say the business kept me busy with a lot of work. It's not unfortunate. It's just, the way it works sometimes. So, yes, still have the cheesy cell phone video. Things just seem to slow down. We all know why, right? Yeah, well, we don't want to talk about politics, do we? No, we don't. That's not what this is about. All right, so, I did have a little project that I did complete. Of course, it is rather interesting, so, let's get down to it. I'll have more on the pirate guitar coming up. It's just a couple of things I was trying to figure out with it, and it's a slow creative process, and sometimes I don't feel that creative. So you've had those weeks, I'm sure, where you get busy with work and you're not feeling creative. So it's hard to do creative work when you're not in the mood. Last week was just one of those weeks. So I did, however, come across my childhood bass, as you can kind of see in this part of the video right here as I'm viewing this. So let's talk about the childhood bass, which was a BC Rich Warlock. Yes, I had that. That was my first bass when I was just a wee little tyke of like 17, 18 years old, I believe, at that time. I was in a band, and we had two guitar players. I was the rhythm. And as fate would have it, our bass player left the band to go to college. To pursue the college dream, if you will. So, my guitar player, Dave, at the time said, well, you don't play lead, so maybe you should pick up a bass. So we went to a store, and the local music store, and yes, I was a bad boy. They had two BC Riches. In fact, it was pretty much this color, just not with my Insignia on it, obviously. One said made in the USA, and the other one said, I think, platinum. Same color, identical basses. One was just made in the USA, one was platinum. That was really the only difference, the same pickup configuration and everything else. So, I had good old Dave distract the chick at the counter, and back then they used to hang the price tags right on the tuning keys. They had that little price tag. Yeah, so I swapped the price tags. One was like $300, the other one was like $1,000 or somewhere around there. It's a long time ago, so don't remember the exact pricing, but one was definitely a lot less than the other one. So, of course, I put the price tag on the American-made one and went up to the counter and didn't pay that much for it. Well, karma has its way of kicking you in the rear. So, unfortunately, a couple weeks later, after we were playing our gig in the backyard, and we had a bunch of people, a little kegger party, because that's what you did back in the day, man. You had a kegger party. Yeah! You were rocking it, man. Everybody was outside partying, drinking, carrying on. You're all underage. Well, some of you were. Well, probably a lot of you were. But, man, it's what you did back then up in Missouri, man. It's just the way it was. So, we got off stage for a short break, and as fate would have it, somebody swiped my bass. Yeah, they swiped it. Yep, and gone it was forever. So, these basses are really hard to find. And when you do find them, they're usually pretty expensive. And I would create one, but I just wanted the original back, which wasn't going to happen, obviously. So I wanted the best and closest thing I could, which is what we have here. So let's take a look at it. Without further ado, as you can see, this was somewhat of the original color. This is my own custom color. And it is called Miami Vice. Well, because you know, Miami Vice had a lot of fluorescent in the TV series, and I kind of grew up on Miami Vice when I was a young lad. And yeah, man, as fate would have it, I decided to get back the original base and do a Miami Vice color scheme. So that's what I did here. So let's have a look at this bad boy, shall we? All right. Let's cruise down here. Yeah, look out for them weird sound effects. BC Rich. Oh. Yes, that's a painted fingerboard. I do paint, so yeah. This is quite a process, believe it or not, to do paint and to do it right and to make it look as good as it looks and nice and yeah, it won't wear out. For those of you that are going to ask, hey, does that rub off? No, it will eventually with a ton of play. Yes, it's paint, so eventually you would possibly wear through that if you're a bass player that plays like Billy Sheehan and just, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not a Billy Sheehan style bassist, so I really don't push the string into the wood per se. Even though the action is quite low. I like the action low. Being a bass player, I like low action, man. You got to get down and get in it, man. So anyhow, just to give you an idea of the process, just a little info here. You basically have to, this was I believe a really tight rosewood, and you have to fill the grain, then you have to prime it, and then you have to paint it, and then, but first you have to take out the frets. I took out the old frets and I put in new frets. So after you paint it and then you basically clear coat it, you put the frets in and then you do a fret job. Now that gets complicated because you don't want to mess up the finish, but you will, unfortunately, because you have to do all the fret work on the side. And believe it or not, when you take down the frets on the side, you will get into the wood a little bit. It's just, I don't care how careful you are. I'm very careful, and you'll dig into that little edge there at some point. And that's okay because you're going to do 2 more rounds of paint. That's right. So after you put the frets in, you tape everything off. You tape the frets off. I use really good thin line to tape those frets off. And when you tape those frets off, you go ahead and shoot your color again. And then you take the tape off and you shoot your clear. Then you sand that down and do it 1 more time. So that's 2 rounds. So that really makes things pretty awesome at that point. Now everything's really smooth. You got smooth edges and everything's painted and it's tight. So I've got about 6 coats of clear on there, sanding in between, of course. So, you know, you end up with about 4 coats of clear, which will last quite some time. It doesn't really affect the tone, at least not that I've noticed. It's not an acoustic, so obviously, you know, it is a bass. It is the lower register. But I've painted guitar fingerboards too. The tone may change a tad, but I mean, unless you've got, like, you know, the ultimate ear, you're not going to notice that. I also like to do my own fret markers, as you can see by these like half diamonds. So those are my half diamond fret markers, and yeah, everything is pretty smooth and pretty awesome. So because it's what I try to achieve. Otherwise, you know, what's the point? So, yeah, let's continue on. Ooh, ah. Watch out for the cheesy sound effect. Yeah, so this is the Miami Vice Warlock, BC Rich. Yeah. So, back in the day, you had these pickups made by DiMarzio. I believe 127 something, P127. Not sure the exact name. A friend of mine has a guitar repair shop, and he had these pickups, you know, lying around and some bent in the back. And I was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing with these old DiMarzios?" He's like, "Dude, I don't know, man. They're like 82 or 83. Just take them." I was like, "Cool, buddy. Thanks." So, you know, I was over his shop talking to him about paint. He needed some help with some paint work, and yeah, so little knowledge, and I get some cool pickups. And I've had those pickups for quite some time, and I just didn't have a bass to put them in. I found a guy that had this base. It was a really good price. This base was pretty beat up. Obviously, it didn't come with that awesome hip shot bridge that it has now. And it didn't have these pickups, and it was black and beat the hell. But it was really cool, so I bought it off the gentleman, and that's what I did this week. This actually didn't take but a couple of days. I already had a plan of attack in my brain, and I had the color pretty much almost mixed down at that time. I wanted a blue that was unique, that was my own custom color, that no one else can recreate. But, you know, you got a lot of guys out there that color match really well, so they might be able to recreate it. But the problem is, in this video, for some reason, it's darker. So it's actually lighter in real life. It's so weird looking at the camera and then looking at the base in real life and seeing that it's actually like almost 2 shades darker, which is kind of weird, but it's pretty cool. So this is a color code I call Miami Vice, and this is the Warlock Blue Rocker guitar style Miami Vice customized bass. So yeah, this was quite the little project. It's 24 frets. The hardware was made in Korea, kind of cheesy, but I just rebuilt them and made them better. Use these little buttons in here. Yeah, you get really good ones, and that really changes everything. Tighten these up, and plays really good. Yeah, and I have the one-off in white because I do that. It's my own little, insignia, besides my logo, obviously. So let's do the one-arm flip. Oh, yeah. This is always fun to do. The one-arm flip. Got to hold the camera with the other hand. Yeah. All right. This thing is long, but it's pretty cool. So I didn't do any cool thing with the cavity. I did switch out the electronics. I like Bourne's. I know you guys may be or may not be familiar with Bourne's pots, but they're pretty awesome. I like them. These are the 5, I believe these are 500. Let's see if I can focus. Yep, those are the 500K. Now, if you want something that's just crazy, you can step that up. But I don't think the pickups from 82 are going to handle these bad boys. These are 1 meg. Let's see if I can focus that. Yeah, 1 meg. So these are really powerful. Now, you don't use 1 meg in a lot of applications, especially this one. This has a tone in it. I use 500K for the tone. It's probably overkill for these pickups. Probably 250 would have been better. But the bass still sounds pretty amazing anyway. So, I think it worked out pretty good. So, just kind of wiping this off a little bit so we can, not see all my hand marks. And look at the nice pristine finish. Whoa! Yeah, so that's how you tell you got a good finish. You can see stuff in it, like that light that's up there that you can see really well. Yeah, I've been painting for quite some time, so I like to have my finishes damn near perfect, if not perfect. So, I always say, it's close to perfect, so because that way I can have room to improve, and hopefully, I do improve. Now, I had this unique BC Rich plate that was pretty cool. It didn't have any numbers written in there. It was just blank. I got it somewhere years ago, and I kept it because I thought, hey, one day, man, when I build my BC Rich, I'll have a plate, and I can write my name in there. Well, I didn't write my name, but I did write custom. Yeah, because this is custom now. This is totally a BC Rich custom because I customized the crap out of it. But yeah, so I'm not planning on selling this. This is my bad boy to keep, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't get stolen if my band actually gets going and plays out. That would be great. Hopefully it won't be stolen. Yes, I'll keep it under lock and key. Because these basses are really hard to find and that are American made in really good condition. This one is actually American body. Has the numbers inside the neck pocket etched in, and it's a Japanese neck and Korean hardware, believe it or not. I mean, well, tuners anyway. Everything else I switched out. So don't know if the neck plate was actually American or not because it didn't have anything on there. So, not sure about that. Probably not, but it was cool. Don't know where I got it. I've had it for years. So, yeah, I kept with the Miami Vice color scheme all the way down the base here. And yes, I added my custom insignia there. If you can read that. Yeah, custom shop, Triple X, limited edition. There we go. So that's my, let you know that this was customized, just in case you couldn't tell, right? So, hey, yeah, that's my one-off tuning key. I always do something like this. I pick a color off the base. I didn't want to obviously make it blue. That would just be blue. It would look weird, so I did white. And these are actually Korean tuners, but they said BC Rich. I was going to upgrade the tuners, but I just decided to rebuild them. So you can rebuild the insides, and you can you can add these things. It just makes the tuner much easier, and it stays. It's really nice and tight. It's not bad hardware. It's definitely not the best, but it actually stays in tune really well. So after you rebuild these things. Because they are Korean made, so they're not the best. But, Korea's coming along, in some ways. I'd say they still got a ways to go. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do, man, no matter where you live. So, that's what they're doing. They're, they're making cheap parts, I guess, but it's not as cheap as it used to be in the 80s. I mean, back in the 80s, man, you'd crank on one of them tuners, man, and that thing would just bust off in your hand. It'd be like, damn. Yeah, because they were made with pot metal. I mean, I don't think these are pot metal, but because I looked at them, and I looked at them really good. They were actually a decent metal. I'm thinking zinc alloy, maybe. Not the best, but hey, not bad. I mean, it is Korean. And that's going to conclude this video, I think. And yeah, I will have more updates on the Vampirate. Hopefully I get to do some work on it this weekend, because I've kind of made my schedule that way. But last week I made my schedule that way and it didn't work out. So hopefully this week it does, and I get to get a lot of things accomplished with that. So I know you guys are probably waiting to see that, and that's probably the most exciting thing I have at this moment. But I've got other exciting things to come. Wait till you see my stripper guitar. What did you say? Stripper guitar? Nah, a stripper guitar? Yeah, man, a stripper guitar. And just to give you a little bit of a tease on the old stripper guitar, keeping with the hot pink, because, strippers, they like hot pink. So you've heard of the, I'm sure you've heard of the Kaler Spider Tremolo that came out in 82 to 85. Well, those are really hard to find in custom colors, because I don't believe they ever made custom colors, but... Uh-oh, did you see that? Oh, yeah, it's fast, man. I'm telling you, you got to be careful. Yeah, I like teasing people just a little bit. Ooh, would you look at that? Oh, yes, Kaler, made in the USA. Now, have you ever seen a Spider Tremolo in poison pink? Oh, I do not believe so. Yes, this is a process. Yes, there is a company that does this. Yes, that company is Blue Rocker Guitars. Yeah! So you ever wonder how I do that? I'm not telling. It's my secret. Whoa. And this is a good hard coating. No, it will not come off. I mean, eventually, yes, if you take a sharp object and go, it will come off. But this is going on the stripper guitar. Wait till you see that bad boy. Yeah, it lights up. It has LEDs. I'm not telling you anymore, man, because it's just, I can't give it away yet. That's coming next after the Vampirate. Yeah. So I do have exciting things to come. And, Yeah, I did the tuner keys as well. Wah! These are the USA made Sprizel. These are really good locking tuners. I like Sprizel. You know, there's a lot of people that like Sprizel. There's a lot of people that maybe don't, but you can customize their tuners, and this will go on this end. So let's say you order like a lot of people don't know this. Let's say you order six in a row on the right side, but you needed 3-on-3. Well, you can actually take this out of this and flop it. You can move this whole thing on this side. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm telling you that. Sorry, Sprizel, if that it's not known on your website. It's known now. So, but they didn't actually paint this. That's Blue Rocker Guitars with the cool custom colors. Yes, and I can do that to your Tremolo as well. And no, I'm sorry, it is not a cheap process. This takes time. This is not something that you can you have to have a special oven, which I now have. And this is not a cheap process. So if you happen to find a Kahler Spider, and you like the Kahler Spider, like I do, and you want to do something 80s, totally kick-ass and unique, well, give me a call. I got a ton of colors. So yeah, man, that's the stripper guitar coming soon to a Blue Rocker guitar shop near you. Sorry, there's only one right now. I wish I had like several. But, the future, right? The future. It's the future. So yeah, this is Blue Rocker Guitars. Checking out. Catching you on the flip side. We'll have more Vampirate coming up. So please stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. I can't talk. And yeah, man. Rock on. We'll catch you next time, man. See ya.